What if something happens tonight? Not saying I'm going to be in the building or anything, but what if a sniper rifle just shoots at Cooper
Okay.
Rush's Achilles for some reason?
Okay, chill out. Um,
What if a blow dart just enters Cooper Rush's ginger skull by
okay.
random chance?
Moving on. The Broncos
What if
Raiders.
what if Tua's ghost just pushes Cooper Rush over into a pile of hot lava?
Oh my god. That's crazy.
What if Bryce Young's car driver decides to take out another ginger fuck?
Yo, welcome everybody back to this episode of the 2 Minute Warning. I'm your host Ethan. Lucas is on remotely. No introduction. There we go. All right, and we're back. Weekly episode. This one's a little bit earlier in the week, so we don't have as up-to-date results of last week. So to be exact, it's a Monday, so we haven't had the results of the Texans Cowboys game yet, but we've got everything else that we
14.
What?
Have the Texans winning by 14.
I do have the Texans winning by 14. The Cowboys are ass, man.
Crazy.
But anyways,
But what if Trey Lance gets in the game?
okay, that's not happening. Okay, I don't know what it is with these teams going with the older
I
fucking
hope.
guy. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but regardless, let's start Eagles Commanders. I picked the Eagles in this game. I'm pretty sure you picked the Commanders, if I'm not mistaken.
I did pick the Commanders. I thought
Jaden Daniels had a rough game compared to what he's been playing.
it was a close game until the last 4 minutes where Saquon decided to rush for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
4 minutes, but it was, they did not bad. A low scoring game all game until the last literally 8 minutes, when it started to pick up.
Just Jaden Daniels got his receivers got locked up. It was a check down game completely for the Commanders. He could not find his receivers down the field, so he was constantly checking down to Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson. So let's just say it was a tough game for the receiving core of the Commanders. The Eagles secondary looked really good. Terry McLaurin got locked up completely. Literally, great game for the Eagles secondary. And Eagles offense went. They ran the ball well. They passed the ball well. It was a good game for the Eagles.
Passing was a little questionable, to be honest.
Yeah, but they were able to run the ball.
AJ and Devonta Smith kind of shit the bed, but
Yeah,
they
I
ran
guess,
it
yeah.
enough.
They ran it so much, and the Commanders could not stop the run. So, regardless, I don't see the Commanders. I don't see the Commanders going on a fucking losing streak because of this game, but I still think it was a tough game for the Commanders receivers, and yeah, I mean, is there anything else to put it?
No,
I think there's just a tough game for the Commanders.
no. Either way, you're happy if you're a Commanders fan. You're happy if you're an Eagles fan. I mean,
It was an end division matchup that is pretty much already a lock. Like, these two are they're the locks for the top two of the NFC East. So, not really a meaningful game for either team.
Trey Lance.
But, dude, shut up with Trey Lance, man. They don't want to play him. Clearly, they clearly do not want to play
If
him.
I was Jerry Jones, I'd say we're starting Trey Lance. We're starting someone that was a number 1 pick, and not this ginger fuck, and letting CD win Pfizer next game. I'll eat the fine. I'm rich. I'm the richest GM in fucking NFL. I'll take the fines wearing a visor.
The craziest part about this,
That's just me.
the craziest part about the Cowboys is, look, they have a game they have a game at the Cowboy Stadium tomorrow or tonight, and somehow it's not going to sell out as much as the Jake Paul fight did. Like, somehow Jake Paul beating up a 60-year-old man's got more attention than the Cowboys this year. So, regardless,
it's gonna be a good game though. Anyway, on to the next one.
I got a lot to talk about at this game.
Really?
Packers Bears.
Can we keep it short and simple?
Short and simple.
It was one play that ended the game.
I was not happy. I was not happy with the Packers today, and not because
covered the spread though.
Yes, they covered the spread, but still, they fucking.
Which I was right about.
They let the Bears, who have not scored a touchdown in 2 weeks, score 19 points on their dome and not be able to fucking come back with an elite offensive performance that, like, they've shown they are capable of doing. Josh Jacobs doing Josh Jacobs things.
Suck.
What?
You guys suck.
Brother, Christian Watson had 150 yards, man. Like, come on.
You needed all 150 of those.
Yeah, and he had 4 receptions on 4 targets and didn't fucking get in the end zone. Like, are you kidding me? How you have 4 receptions and 150 yards and not score a touchdown? That's crazy to me. Regardless, they get a clutch blocked field goal at the end of the game. I don't know. Like, I'm not happy with this win. Like, I'm not. This should have been a blowout. This shouldn't have been a close game. I don't understand why we only lost by a single point. But
you guys suck.
We better show it next week. We better fucking bounce back. So,
and next week
we play the Niners next week. Tough game. It's a tough matchup, so we better fucking bounce back. Otherwise, we're gonna be in the hole.
You guys are cooked.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
CMC over 200 yards.
I'm worried about it. Moving on. Jaguars Lions. This is a complete fucking beatdown.
What did I say? I said last week everyone's gonna be able to score on the Lions. Look at what they did,
bro.
Now
Matt
I did
Jones.
pick the Jags to cover and win, but I said the Jags are gonna win originally if Trevor Lawrence played. I was convinced that until the Jaguars win somehow because whatever reason, but I knew this was not going to be a good game for defenses. I mean, the Lions defense did.
I think you said. I don't think you said if Trevor plays. I think you said if ETN plays. Pretty sure you said if ETN plays.
I think I originally said if Trevor plays, and then I switched it. I didn't say if ETN plays. I just said I think they win if Trevor plays, and then I switched it and I said actually never mind. Fuck that. Give me the no matter what. I don't know why I did that, but I did it, and I'm gonna live with that consequence. Trust your gut next time, I guess. But yeah,
7 touchdowns, touchdowns scored by the Detroit Lions offense.
St. Brown is all I can say, though.
Yeah, Amon-Ra with 2. Brock Wright scored 1. Jamison Williams got 1. Jahmyr Gibbs got 2. Jahmyr Gibbs got 1. David Montgomery got 2. So everybody gets a touchdown. And let Jared Goff go for that 500-yard game. Why don't they let Jared Goff go for the 500-yard game? They put Hendon Hooker in for later in the game.
Need it.
Some reps. Let the brethren get 500 yards. Come on.
Yards.
What a bounce back game though from Jared Goff. MVP kind of game. I would only say one other quarterback had a better performance, but individually, Jared Goff had the best single-handed performance by a quarterback this week. So, again, just a beatdown. So, not much to talk about. Moving on, another great quarterback performance. The Dolphins beat the Raiders 34-19. Tua looks like he's back.
Fuck Tua! Jonnu fucking Smith!
Yeah,
I don't know if I said this last week, but Jonnu Smith is the most underrated fucking tight end in the league.
We talked about it. We did talk about it a few weeks back because we talked about the impact of a block first tight end, and Jonnu's that guy, right? very underrated blocking tight end. So, and the fact that he was able to get some offensive production this week is awesome. I'm a big Jonnu guy, so
beautiful. I said they were gonna win, and they did. They just fucking destroyed them.
3 passing touchdowns for Tua, 288 yards, 28 on 36. So, and no picks. CTE's not hit him yet. Devon A. Chain's had a rushing touchdown, and Jonnu with 2. So, and Tyreek gets 1 as well. Sorry, but yeah, Jonnu with a game. And on the Raiders side, I mean, they're fucked.
Yeah, that's basically how you gotta say it.
I mean, the only bright spot on that team is Brock Bowers. Like, everything else is
Brock Bowers had a game, but
yeah, everything else is just just give up, just sell the team.
Can we put Ritter in like just once? Like let's see him play. Come on, guys. I don't know why they think Minshew is the guy he was last year, but they need to just go with the younger guy, with Ritter. Let him do his thing. And this was a better game from Gardner Minshew. It wasn't even like his worst game.
I would still make a change. They're losing games. They got to move in a different direction.
You got to change something. There's nothing good happening. Yeah, you could say, he threw 2 touchdowns, but you're losing. It doesn't go to the guy that there's a reason you signed him. Obviously, you signed him. I don't think if you don't start Ritter next week, I mean, maybe at this point they're like, okay, we don't really want to win. We're playing for a pick. We're playing for Shadur Sanders. Shadur Sanders with another "Thank you God" tweet after the Raiders lost. He tweets them after every Raiders loss because obviously he's for something. But yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, is the Raiders' problem really just a quarterback problem? Because it seems a little bit more. I mean, who knows? I don't know if it's a receiver problem because I think Jacoby Myers is a very talented wide receiver.
I do too. I think if you have the right quarterback and you get a solid, Jacoby was solid with Devontae as a 1. He was solid last year, but he had a decent. He didn't have shit last year, but. Fucking regardless, he still put up numbers. He still put up numbers with fucking Aiden O'Connell. So, I think a right quarterback, put like you said, Shadur Sanders, and possibly a second round wide receiver could make things a little bit more interesting for the Raiders next year. But regardless, they're tanking
the Raiders because the Seahawks could have got Debo and DK in the same draft, but the Raiders decide to fall out of the fucking draft and trade it to the Jaguars. What the fuck are you doing?
Regardless,
Samuel would have been nasty.
They got to make a change there. Moving on to talk about late draft round snags. The Rams and the Patriots. Obviously, Puka had a fucking crazy game. Had to help my parlay out
too.
He helped my parlay out a lot. So Cooper Kupp gets 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua gets a touchdown. Colby Parkinson gets a touchdown. Matthew Stafford's dishing out the ball. And the Patriots did not look bad in this game. They put up a fight. Drake May again showing promise. He's the guy going forward for them. So
guy has no one on his team.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. He didn't look awful. Obviously, he's making some mistakes, but I mean,
he's spreading the ball.
It's good
around.
reps for him. The only good thing about them losing is that he gets to throw 40 times a game. Now, I don't know if that's good for his long-term health, but I mean, he's getting the experience. He's getting 3 years experience in 1 year with the Patriots because of how bad they are and how many times he has to throw a game.
He's definitely spreading the ball around though, so I think that's good. Being able to not depend on throwing to one receiver.
On one person.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Speaking of a team,
does need to find a one. I think.
Speaking of a team depending on one person, Jameis Winston and the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this game was a game that maybe Nick Chubb could get opportunities, but then they just started to lose and lose and lose.
They stayed in this game,
and then Taysom Hill just decided to score and 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 fuck me in my ass because I have Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, who knew Taysom Hill was going to take all the rushing yards? That was
touchdowns. Like he got both. It wasn't even like he got one of them. Yeah. He got all fucking 3.
Yeah, 138 yards and 3 touchdowns on 7
ridiculous.
attempts. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Anybody who picked Taysom Hill 3+ touchdowns probably just won a fortune. If anybody did.
It's ridiculous. And this guy, I can't even be mad at him because he literally was uber efficient with the fucking ball. The only thing he did negatively was throw an interception. But after that interception, he came around and fucking had 3 fucking touchdowns, 8 receptions. You can't even be mad at him.
Jameis Winston had a good game individually. Just the defense could not.
Jameis did good, but yeah, the Browns defense just kind of fell apart. Jameis looked like Jameis, though. That's what Jameis does. He goes there, throws 3 picks. Next game, he'll throw 3 tutties.
Yeah, he gave them the best chance to win.
And does.
Jerry Jeudy had a game. Regret trading him away. Touchdown
1 for 1. This guy traded Demario Douglas 1 for 1 for Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, because they were both fucking being ass to start the year, so I just said fuck it. And now
I knew Jameis Winston is a fantasy guy. He gets his guys fantasy points. So I took him off your hands.
Regardless.
The Ravens versus Boswell.
No, versus Boswell. This was a defensive showdown. And they said it better. I think someone said it. It was look, Mike Tomlin just knows how to stop Lamar Jackson. And this game was proof. Derrick Henry with a first fumble in 268 attempts, I think.
I thought it was 586 snaps.
It was a crazy amount, but he does get a fumble, does get in the end zone though, just not a Derrick Henry 100 and crazy yard game. And they just could not pass the ball whatsoever. Steelers scores 0 touchdowns this game. Boswell carries. So
Boswell for MVP?
Literally. Nice to have him score 24 points as my kicker. I'll take that every week.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then
they
Vikings Titans.
This game, I was not happy that Jefferson didn't score. Sold my other parlay. So
wait. Let's go back to the Ravens really quick. Is Justin Tucker washed?
This big talk. He missed 2 field goals, and this game is, obviously within a field goal.
He's arguably been one of the worst kickers in the league.
Okay, you're disrespecting Tyler Bass. You're disrespecting Tyler Bass.
Okay. Tyler Bass has had better moments than him.
Bro, Tyler Bass missed 2 PAT. He missed 2 PATs.
Okay, I'm blaming the weather on that though. The flags were literally horizontal on the poles. So I'm blaming Tyler Bass on that. You can blame Justin Tucker because this guy never misses, and now all of a sudden he's missing. I don't know what happens. I don't know if he's been getting pegged too much in the offseason, but he's losing his.
It's time for
fucking ability.
It's time for Rodrigo Blankenship to
get that man a job.
Get this man a job.
If the Seahawks didn't have one of the best kickers in the league, say go get him.
Yeah.
There's so many teams like the Jets probably could use him.
Yeah, Zerline's
probably
injured.
Could use him. But I don't know. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's weird seeing Justin Tucker be in the 70% of kicking when he's usually like 90%. So I don't know. And now I think Eddie Pinheiro is now has the highest field goal percentage.
Probably because he attempts the most. He probably attempts the most.
No, he actually that would mean the greatest kicker of all time then if he has the highest percentage and attempts the most. No, I think he has like 140 attempts, but he's made like 118 of them or whatever. Uber efficient. But yeah, Justin Tucker's losing the crown, and it's falling quick. He's lucky he's on a team with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, so he doesn't have to kick many field goals, but yeah. Oh.
Vikings, Titans. The Vikings get it done, shut down the Titans. Again, another defensive game here.
A lot of points this week.
What?
This week, like I feel like the teams that scored a shit ton, and the teams that didn't were lower scoring games.
Yeah, like this game, only 3 touchdowns scored by the Titans. My mistake.
The Titans?
Sorry, not by the Titans. The Vikings. Cam Akers gets in there. Jordan Addison and Sam Darnold gets one in himself. So 3 touchdowns scored. Yeah, I mean I didn't really watch much of this game, but from what I see on statistics, Sam Darnold not a very bad game.
This week, after you only scored 12 points on the Jags, I watched another Vikings game. I needed to give myself a break from them. So
yeah. Will Levis, I mean, not a terrible game from what we've seen from Will Levis. So
yeah, well, if you a game where Will Levis isn't like being memed or like completely ass, where he's not throwing like 2 picks.
I mean, he had probably one of the worst quarterback stat lines this week for efficiency wise, but he went 17 for 31, but he still threw 300 yards, or almost 300 yards. So
he had to though. He's down the whole game, so it's really not that impressive. But whatever, dude.
For throwing
I'm over Will Levis, dude.
That many incomplete.
Yeah, I think it's time to give Kaepernick a call.
Kaepernick, brother. Ryan Tannehill, bring him back.
If you're telling me Kaepernick wouldn't perform the same or better than right now, Kaepernick would at least go out there and have like games, maybe 5 touchdowns, but he would have like maybe 1 or 2 picks. He's not going to have 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
I swear, if the Titans signed either of the quarterbacks that played yesterday in the Grey Cup, they probably would be doing better than who they have on right now. Swear to God,
it's possible.
Like brother, Zach Collaros on the Titans, they would be a playoff team. I swear to God, like.
Okay, well, that's a stretch.
And we know how bad Canadian football can be, like, but come on, this is ridiculous.
I don't know about playoffs. Playoffs is kind of crazy.
But moving on, Colts Jets, revenge game, man, a revenge game for Anthony Richardson. He gets in that end zone.
It's ridiculous.
Twice. He gets in that end zone twice.
Winner.
Clutch rushing touchdown at the end of the game. And I mean, the Jets did everything they could, but they are downhilling fast. They need to get a coach. They need to get a defensive minded coach. I think, like, you've been shitting on Mike McDonald, but if Mike McDonald was on the Jets, man, I think they'd be doing a lot better than they are. They need a defensive minded coach to shut whatever's going on down, because they have
a culture. They need a culture. Yeah. They don't have a culture.
They had a good defense. Go down. They have a good defense. They have a good offense. Like, what is going on in this game? Like, I don't get it. Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people are saying he's washed. Like,
even doing bad individually.
No, like, I don't see. Yes, he did not throw the ball that much.
It's weird when you look at a team with so much talent and, like, visually doing good, but they're losing so many games. Like, Rodgers hasn't turned the ball over. He had one game where he had, like,
2 picks or 3 picks, yeah.
But than that, he hasn't been a bad quarterback this year. So It's weird. Like, obviously a large part of it is the defense, right? But it's so weird to look at a team and be like, they're doing a lot of things right, but they're not doing enough to win. And it's just so weird because when you look at individual stats, like after they bring Davante in, Davante's had solid games. Garrett Wilson's exploded. Like Aaron Rodgers is not even doing bad. Like he's probably going to finish the year with 30 touchdowns and like under 10 interceptions. And they're just losing still.
Yeah,
and it's so weird.
There's no other team in the NFL besides maybe one other team that is this talented is losing this many games. And like I would say the Bengals are in that conversation too, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But
it's the Bengals that story. Like they can, but the Bengals is a little more different because you kind of know what's going wrong. Yeah. The Jets, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what's going wrong. Like, yeah, they
I don't think the Jets
falling apart a lot of times,
but they have a good defense. They have guys on that defense that are like, hey, that's a standout guy, like Quinnen Williams.
Last year they were great.
Yeah, you got a guy like Quinnen Williams. You've got a good secondary. You've got Sauce. Like, what is going wrong? What is the problem? Like, is it the defensive play calling? Is it the offensive play calling? What's going wrong here? And they need to fix it fast. Otherwise, they are good. Like, they're pretty much done for the year. I mean,
right. And it also doesn't help you're in a good division with teams like that can steal wins from you. The Patriots always somehow find a way to steal a few games from you guys in the division, whether that's the Bills or the Dolphins or the Jets. Like, they stole a game from the Jets this year. They might end up stealing a couple games from the Bills. Like, who knows? But they just, like, you're in a tougher division when you're in that division.
And
when you look at it from the outside in, that's a very mediocre division, especially this year. But when you're within that division and you're really looking at it, every team can, like, they'll end up splitting a game with each team. And it makes it a lot harder to be an amazing team because of that.
And I think they're being...
Why it's so impressive what the Bills are doing.
Honestly, being honest, they're being outcoached. And every game they seem to play...
A lot of the time, yeah.
They are being outcoached. Shane Steichen outplayed them, outcoached them. With a quarterback that he didn't even have his full trust in. He outplayed them, outplay called them with a quarterback that he had no idea what he was getting out of. He didn't know whether he was getting a rushing monster, in which he did. Thankfully, they get that game done because of that. He doesn't know whether he's getting a great game out of Josh Downs. He doesn't know whether he's getting a 100-yard game from Jonathan Taylor. Like, his team is so in the air, and the fact that he was able to outplay call a team as talented as the Jets, it goes to show that they need a culture, like you said, and they need to be they need a coach. Like, they need a coach to solidify put the hammer down. And that's not anything against Coach Brick. It's just Coach Ulbrich. It's just they are not a unit. They are not a team right now. They
don't feel connected.
No.
It feels like the defense and the offense are two completely different teams.
Even between the quarterback and his receivers, he can't even, like, I feel like Aaron Rodgers doesn't have that kind of chemistry with his receivers. Like, there's some games where he can get to Garrett Wilson.
I disagree with that.
I don't see not that there's no chemistry, there's no connection, if that makes sense. Like, I just, besides Davante, no one caught the ball in this fucking game. Like no one caught the ball in this game besides Davante and Breece Hall. Like, Garrett Wilson had 18 yards. He's not connecting with his receivers efficiently as he should be. He's not. Garrett Wilson was 50% completion rate this game. Fucking, I don't know. It's all his receivers pretty much were 50% or less in this game, besides Davante and Breece Hall. It was pretty much a check down game the entire game. So.
I just think, I don't know. I don't know. They just got to instill a culture, whether that's bringing in Vrabel. I think Vrabel would be the perfect coach here. I don't know if anyone agrees with that, but
hell, even Belichick. Belichick could come in and do something that would be crazy.
Belichick would be interesting. I don't think Belichick works with A-Rod well, because I feel like A-Rod does like to set his own thing, and I don't think Belichick would go for that. But
well, if they build that trust, I mean, back in the day, Brady kind of did his own thing too, and they had that coach to player connection, and Belichick trusted Brady and Brady trusted Belichick, and they were able to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And Belichick would be like, go for it, or hell the fuck nah, you're not doing that. Or vice versa. Rodgers doesn't have that with anybody, so Rodgers just does what Rodgers does, and the receivers are listening to the coach. Like, I feel like they're not connected. They're not listening to each other. They're listening to the wrong people.
I don't think it's a... I mean, they scored 27 points. If they scored 27 points on anyone else, like majority of anyone else in the league, they would have won this week. So yeah, it's a clear, in my opinion, a defensive issue. But I mean, I don't know. It was like,
but that stems from the coach too, right? Like the head coach, that stems from the head coach.
Well, also, too, so. Like the Colts marched down and scored on like the last play, basically, and just set it in. And then the Jets had another chance, but like they didn't do anything with it. And then the O-line crumbled. I'm pretty sure it was a sack on the last play, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it was just bad.
And then on the Colts side of the ball, I mean, it's pretty much set in stone that Anthony Richardson is the guy going forward. So, yeah,
he played really well. So, yeah, I mean, everything's in front of the Colts here, so they could go back and steal a couple here. But anyway,
just the Colts
we've been blabbing about this for a while. So
yeah, it just seems the Colts are just that team that are like every year, no matter how worse or better they get, they're 8-9 or they're 9-8. They're always near 500, and no matter how bad or good they are, they're just 9-8, 8-9. They could have a quarterback injury, 8-9. Like they could have their star running back be out for half the year, 8-9. Like. And make the playoffs. So, moving on. Falcons, Broncos, man.
Those crushed Falcons. Oh, my God.
Bo Nix, man. Are you changing your mind for Offensive Player of the Year or Offensive Rookie of the Year? Is it Bo Nix now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
he puts up a fight.
Looked really good. I will say this, though. The only reason I'm not is because they did it against a Falcons team where everyone's been able to score against this Falcons team. This Falcons team has looked bad. They look really bad. Like everyone scored on them, and then offensively when they get down they just can't seem to find a way to fight back. I mean, we saw this against the Seahawks, we saw it against the Broncos this week. So when the Falcons get down, it looks bad. Like you can basically just count them out because they're not going to do it. Like the Falcons, like they got some questions to ask here. Like the only keeping them afloat here is beating them twice and splitting with the Saints. But I mean, they've looked bad. Like even against the Cowboys, it was a one-score game. Like they didn't show like that they have one of the most talented teams, which they do. They have Drake London. They have Mooney, who's been great. They have Bijan. They have Algier. They have Pitts. They have a good quarterback now. So, and they just looked bad, like, consistently now for the past few weeks. Obviously, they lost last week against the Saints. They got demolished by a rookie quarterback in the Broncos. It was a close game against the Cowboys. Close game against the Bucks. Demolished by the Seahawks. Beat the Panthers, the worst team in football. Like, very close game against the Bucks again. Very close game against the Saints. Won by a field goal. Like, it's just been so close, or they've been blown out. They haven't had a convincing win since the Panthers, who are like the worst team in the league. Other than the Panthers, they haven't beat a good team. Convincingly.
They crumbled this game. Like they could not get the ball offensively in field goal range, and when they did, like Koo was there, he hit his field goals. But the fact that Kirk Cousins cannot lead a drive out at least into field goal range is mind-boggling. Like, and I think another game like this, Penix is your guy. You got to give the rookie the shot. You could see teams who have given their rookie quarter. Fuck, the Saints did it, for crying out loud, with Spencer fucking Rattler. Like, teams are better off going to the young guy. Though. I know, but the thing is, when it comes down the line, and when it comes to getting closer and closer to the playoffs, especially in a division that is so up in the air like the NFC South, who knows if the Saints are going to come back and win that division now, with Derek Carr being back and MVS playing like prime Jerry Rice. Who knows if and
Taysom Hill fucking playing like Thanos.
And the Bucks coming off a bye week with Rachaad White being their new wide receiver one, like, and Baker Mayfield playing like an MVP caliber quarterback. That division is up in the air, especially if the Falcons go on a losing streak like this. You got to give the rookie the chance, and I don't feel like they will because of how much money they gave Kirk Cousins, but the Broncos, are better off for it. The Commanders are better off for it. So
another part of it is like they just kind of have to stay afloat because one, they split with the Saints already. They're guaranteed to split with the Panthers, and they beat the Bucks both. So they already have the tiebreaker. Need to do is stay afloat. If they can win 3 out of these next 7 games.
But I say if they lose one more, especially in the fashion in which they lost to the fucking Broncos, like we're not talking about like losing a blowout game to the Lions or a blowout game to the Bills. They're losing blowout games to the Broncos, who might not even make the playoffs themselves. Like I'll say this, right? The Broncos, fucking amazing. Bo Nix had 5 incompletions, threw 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. The best rookie performance we've seen all year, in my opinion. And I'm a big Jaden Daniels guy. I think Jaden Daniels has had the best year, but Bo Nix had the best week for a rookie this year, this week. And I mean, just like looked fucking like from top to bottom, defensively, offensively, just everything. Bo Nix threw it to literally anyone and everyone. Adkins caught a ball. Franklin caught a ball. Javonte caught 4. Mims caught a touchdown. Humphrey caught a touchdown. You know, like anyone and everyone that could get the ball got the ball, and that's what you see with the best teams. Like, I think that, like I was talking about this a little bit with the Jets.
Crazy.
The last game, that coach to quarterback connection is so important, and it separates good teams from dominant teams. And a lot of people were shitting on Sean Payton last year, and I don't think it was Sean Payton's fault. I think that coach to quarterback connection is
that switch from Russ to Stidham was super questionable.
Like from Russ to Payton was super questionable, but then Russ goes and joins a team like the Steelers and looks like him and Tomlin haven't handled. The same thing with Bo Nix and the Broncos, and I think that's what the Jets are lacking, is that quarterback to coach connection that dominates and wins games. And the Falcons are lacking it to a certain extent too, considering only 6 points scored and 5 punts kicked. So yeah, a lot of teams are missing that, and I think that's so valuable when it comes to separating good teams from dominant teams. And I think that's why the Bills are so good, considering their lack of wide receiver depth or lack of whatever. Like even James Cook's not a top tier running back, but they're winning dominant games, which we'll move on to in a little bit. But you have to have that. You have to have that connection. You have to have that connection with your quarterback. And the Falcons lacked it. The Broncos had it, and the wins in dominant fashion. So I guess you can move on to the next game here. Seahawks 20, 49ers 17.
Got it, because you were talking all this shit.
Yeah.
Talking about the Seahawks defense is the worst defense in the league, that we couldn't fucking win when it comes down to it. We can't turn the ball over. Geno Smith is washed. We need to go to someone else. You know, he's not a leader. You're saying everything and anything you could about the Seahawks defense and the Seahawks offense. So I want to hear now that we beat a top-tier team that made the Super Bowl last year convincingly. I mean, I know it was close on the scoreboard,
but it was their best defensive game for the Seahawks all year. I think they changed their motto, I think, a little bit. Like, they stopped this man-to-man coverage that they've been running all year. I think Mike McDonald realized that running a zone defense is a lot more helpful. Like, I'm just skimming through the highlights now, but any takes that you have on this game? I didn't see this game, obviously, but
the fucking Seahawks are back. We fucking, I mean, we looked amazing. Big boy pick at the end of the game to seal it. Our defense just looked incredible. I mean, we contained McCaffrey, which really no one's been able to do ever.
I think their defensive line.
We clamped Deebo Samuel.
The defensive line, like the best it's ever looked this year, maybe even last year. The pressures that Brock Purdy was under in this game, they, like you said, they clamped up fucking McCaffrey. They never opened up the Niners offensive line could not open up a hole for McCaffrey at all. So the only thing they could do was pass the ball. And like you said, they locked up their important guys. They locked up Deebo. Obviously, Kittle didn't play this game. Jennings had a good game considering, but someone had to catch the ball. We couldn't let
Jennings get. He didn't even get 100 yards. We let him get 90, and that's it. And he got a touchdown. But like one person isn't going to win you a game, and we knew that.
Like McCaffrey, pressured. McCaffrey pressured. Brock Purdy pressured. Throws a check down. Like they pressured him so hard, and then goal line. I mean, they pressured him on that. It was just a quick check down to Jennings. But they blitzed very well in this game. So, and I think that's Brock Purdy's weaknesses. We saw the Ravens do it last year. They fucking blitzed the hell out of him, forcing him to make bad decisions, having to scramble out of the pocket, possibly throwing a check down to guys who aren't ready for it and throw bad picks or throw incompletions. And that's what the Seahawks did. They blitzed very, very well. Not having to rely on their secondary, because I am still critical of their secondary. I know they had a good game, but I'm still critical of the Seahawks secondary regardless. But the defensive line and the linebackers, they came up big for the Seahawks in this game, and they stopped an offensive juggernaut and held them to 17 points. That's huge, especially for an interdivision matchup like that. So I have no critical no critical talks this week. It's just a big game for them next week. Big game, especially for the division. That division is so up in the air right now. So it's a dogfight. Do you have anything else to add to this game?
Not much to add. I think it was good. I mean, Geno let us down.
I don't want to talk about Geno.
Not much really to say,
because we're gonna get in an argument if I start talking about Geno. Because I still didn't like Geno's game this week. It's just he came up.
He was efficient enough.
He did his job. Yeah, he played. It was a Derek Carr kind of week for him.
Scored the last touchdown. Okay, he scored the last touchdown of the game. He was clutch. He was efficient. Yeah, I mean. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, honestly, our rush game was good.
Rush game is great.
Yeah.
Rush game is great.
Yeah, I mean, next week's going to be a good week. The division's wide open. I saw they gave us a 4% chance to make playoffs before this week, and now we're second in the division, and we're realistically one game away from first. I know, like, we win against the Cardinals. I think we're technically first, which is a very winnable game. I don't remember the last time we lost to the Cardinals.
If the defense can do what they just did, and then also have DK come back, because DK did not show full form. He did good, but it wasn't a DK dominant game. 7
receptions for 70 yards.
But JSN, all I'm saying is that if they can get both guys, both JSN and DK, lighting up, especially a team with a bad secondary. Like, I don't know who you guys play next week, but a bad secondary. So, very bad secondary, actually. So, if they can get both guys lighting it up, I might add one to the I might add JSN to the parlay next week. I might just do it.
Yeah, I think next week's, like, it's a big week, obviously. Like, I don't want to count the Cardinals out, because obviously they've won against good teams. They're
coming off a bye
this year, but I just think, like, Seahawks are going to be riding high on a win against arguably the best team in the division, even though they're last, which is so weird to say. But
with expectation, this team had expectations of being the best in the league, Super Bowl favorites.
If we can, I mean, they made the Super Bowl last year, and it was competitive. I mean, but anyway, that's besides the point. I think next week's very winnable. I guess we'll talk about it during the picks, but yeah. happy with the outcome. Obviously there were some mistakes. The center needs to get it together because we had another. I think this is like the 4th straight week where we had a muffed snap, which is fucking ridiculous. We don't have that. We probably win a lot of these games convincingly, but yeah, making a lot of minor mistakes, but mistakes that can be fixed. It's not mistakes that are out of fucking question where it's ridiculous. We don't know how to fix them. Whatever, they're fixable mistakes. Just taking extra snaps under center, taking extra shotgun snaps, just anything to fix that because that's been a big issue that I've noticed. But yeah, we played good else in my opinion. So
moving on, the Chiefs-Bills game. Oh boy, if they don't start the MVP chant soon, I might just start them myself. They pressured the fuck out of Mahomes. Like they pressured him hard, and that's what Bills defense does, man. That's what you got to do to stop the Chiefs. You have to pressure him into doing things that he's not supposed to be doing. Obviously, that end of game pick was a perfect example. Travis Kelce, I still think, I know it was a hot take. It was a hot take at the start of the year. It's probably an even hotter take now. I still think Travis Kelce's washed. That route on that last pick was not a good route, man.
Dude.
This guy was move around. Why are you standing there still? If I was a Chiefs fan, and I'm not even a Chiefs fan, why are you just waiting for the ball to get thrown to you, and you're just standing there in triple coverage, not trying to break a defender loose, maybe go downfield, just standing there waiting for the ball as Mahomes is scrambling.
His job is to lure defenders on that play.
But then why does Mahomes throw it to him? That's what I don't get either. If you're gonna lure a defender and throw a check down to Kareem Hunt or throw a deep ball to Xavier Worthy or something, don't fucking throw it to a guy in triple coverage. Like, they pressured him. They pressured him huge. He had bad efficiency. He had 2 interceptions. The Bills did, like, I don't think a single receiver had under or over 70 yards. No, yeah, like. The Bills' defense came up huge in this game. Josh Allen came up. Sorry, I was talking about the Bills' defense pressuring the fuck out of Mahomes, which is what won them this game.
Yeah,
it's what won them this game. It's what wins them games. Like the Bills' offense is not that good. Like they're not a top tier.
Okay, well.
If you give the Bengals the Bills' defense, they're 10-0. Like,
yeah, but you could also say that about like majority of defenses in the fucking NFL with the Bengals defense this year.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm just saying if the Bills, well, if the Bills had the Bengals offense,
about the Chiefs defense and the Chargers, you could fucking say that about the Seahawks defense, and we've been playing like shit this year.
I think this year Josh Allen is the MVP. He's the MVP. I don't like the Lamar Jackson, the performance that Lamar Jackson just put up against the Steelers. I can't
get okay. It's kind of annoying seeing everyone say that Josh Allen's the MVP and how everyone was saying like he's the MVP because he's not throwing picks. Well, he has 5 picks in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
So now is the argument he's not an MVP, or you're still going with he's an MVP?
I'm going with the MVP
argument that he was an MVP because he wasn't throwing picks, but now he's throwing picks and he's still the MVP. So just to me, that doesn't really make sense.
Well,
there's multiple guys that I think are the MVP over him. I do think he's top 5. I do think he's performing great, but
my reasoning for it is, look, if it was MVP based off statistics. Like statistics and statistics only, Russell Wilson would be fucking number 1. Like if we're looking at fucking Joe Burrow would be number 1 in MVP voting. Like
Art has been way too efficient.
And I think,
but least amount of picks and the most amount of touchdowns. Like you can't even argue it.
If MVP is truly most valuable player to their team, not just to statistics, but to their team, I think it's Josh Allen, considering the way the Bills' offense looks. Lamar Jackson,
but if you want to do that argument, then it's T.J. Watt.
They would never give MVP to a fucking defensive player. As much as I would love it, as much as I would love it, because I'm a big T.J. Watt guy. Yeah, he should be in the conversation. Like I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. I think TJ Watt should be in the conversation. But the thing is, if we're looking at the award, they're never going to fucking give it to a defensive player. It's a sad reality that we live in as NFL football fans. If it was true, absolutely, they should fucking give it to TJ Watt. Like, I'm a big TJ Watt guy. But looking at the reality that MVP is a quarterback award, if we're looking at the most valuable quarterback to their team, it's Josh Allen. If Lamar Jackson doesn't if Lamar Jackson doesn't have Derrick Henry and he puts up the stats that he does this year, absolutely, he's the MVP. He was my MVP last year. He was my MVP the year before. He is and was the MVP.
He already has more passing touchdowns than last year. And we're season.
True, but they just got shut down by the fucking Steelers. Shut down.
That's why I'm saying TJ Watt. If you're going most valuable player to their team, it's TJ Watt because of what he just did to the MVP.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I mean.
Quarterbacks, it's Lamar. Like, I'm sorry, you could say Josh Allen's second or third, but it's Lamar.
Right now, for me, it's Josh Allen. Obviously, we still got 7 more weeks to play, oh shit, we got 5 more weeks to play.
A lot can happen.
Or 6 more weeks to play. Yeah, a lot can still happen. But considering he just beat the only undefeated,
it goes to week 18 now.
Yeah. Considering beat the only undefeated team in the league.
Okay, but you've been saying that they're the worst undefeated team ever.
They are.
Like, that's a stupid argument.
They are.
Be honest.
They are.
So
still. Moving on. we'll talk about it later.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it later in the year. But
okay, Chargers and Bengals. I mean, great game.
I've never felt so bad for a team.
An offensive unit?
For an offensive unit. Yeah, like, come on, Joe Burrow. Like I said before, like I said in the Josh Allen argument. Joe Burrow, if the MVP was based solely on statistics, Joe Burrow would be so far ahead of everybody else, it wouldn't be funny. But the thing is they're fucking 2-7 now? 3-7?
3-7, I think, yeah.
That is not fair for a team. Jamar Chase is the most receiving yards, the most touchdowns by a receiver in the league. By far, it's not even close. Chase Brown is having a rookie of the year.
You have a triple crown wide receiver and the MVP basically of the league.
Okay, but solely based on, if we're picking like MVP of statistics, is half of them are on the Bengals this year. Like it's like if we're looking at MVP of each position based off of statistics, Joe Burrow's the MVP. Offensive player of the year is Jamar Chase. Offensive rookie of the year is Chase Brown. It's sad.
I'm a rookie, bro. Chase Brown is not a rookie.
He's not a rookie? I swear to God, he's a rookie. Is he not a rookie? Well, regardless, whatever.
I think he was a rookie last year.
Well, I might be mixing up my years. Regardless, this Bengals offense is so good, so talented, and they were losing to teams like the fucking Chargers. I'm sorry. I love the Bengals, and that's like I love the Bengals team.
They're looking fucking incredible. Like, let's be honest here. Chargers looking fucking incredible. They have, in my opinion, the comeback player of the year. Like, in my opinion, there's no one else to even talk about because who else are you picking over J.K. Dobbins? I mean, Justin Herbert's started to look even better now. Ladd McConkey is coming to his own. Obviously, he had a bad drop at the end of the game, but it made up for it. I mean, they've just looked incredible. Quentin Johnson is coming to his own after his rookie struggle. I mean, they've just looked incredible. They did this to a team without Khalil Mack and Derwin James. Like, that's incredible. Like I don't know. I can't even say anything about it. Just like Chargers have looked incredible. Harbaugh has instilled identity into this team, a culture into this team that I haven't seen in the Chargers basically ever, and it's super fun to watch. It sucks for the Bengals. I chose the Bengals because I was like, okay.
Yeah, so did I. We both picked the Bengals this week.
They're doing great. I mean, they seem to have the Chargers number, but the Chargers just
we talked about yeah, man. I talked about that coach to quarterback connection that I've been talking about all fucking week.
They have the best. They have the best one.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
they do.
Harbaugh
No question.
And Herbert.
No question. Yeah. But moving on, we did make picks for the game tonight, but obviously we're recording it before then, so I still have the Texans winning this game. I think you do as well, or you picked the Cowboys, which is fucking insane.
If Trey Lance is playing, which I don't think he is. So.
We talked about it in last week's episode, so you can take a look at that. But recapping this week, I went 4 or 5. Sorry, I gotta count it. 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 7-5, 7-6, 8-6. I went 8-6 this week for picks.
I went 6-7. Hopefully 7-7 tonight.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I included the Texans in 8-6, which they're gonna fucking win. So, but moving on.
Yeah. So
let's make our picks for next week. Starting with
my gosh,
Thursday night game. Let me pull up the game lines for this. Obviously, we talk about our spreads and stuff like that. But Steelers-Browns, probably another defensive showdown. Myles Garrett versus TJ Watt.
Already is crazy.
What?
Already is crazy.
Yeah, well, Steelers-Browns, the line for this game is set at Steelers being favorites by 4. They are -4 in this game. Browns +4. The line is set at 36 points, over/under for each team. For this game, I am taking the Steelers, and they are going to cover that spread, and I'm taking the under for 36 points. I mean,
Really?
On both teams.
I'm blaming the over on that.
You think they're going to score 36 points?
%.
Wow, yeah, I am not taking
There's alone might score 36.
I don't think the Steelers have scored +25 this year, let alone +36.
Yeah, but neither did the Saints until last week.
I guess that's fair, but still, I am taking the Steelers to win this game, cover the spread, but I'm taking the under on 36. You picking the Steelers, I would assume, as well. This is a pretty favorable matchup for them.
Give me the Steelers to win, but the Browns will cover. I think it'll be a close game.
The Chiefs-Panthers, I am taking the Chiefs. This line is set at -11, which is crazy. They are 11-point favorites in this game.
Panthers are going to cover.
Yeah, the Panthers are going to cover this spread. It's going to be a lot closer than people think. Like I said, worst undefeated team. Obviously, they're not undefeated anymore, but worst undefeated team I've seen ever. But yeah, give me the Chiefs for that. The line at that game is set at 41.5. I'm taking the under on that one as well. I don't see it.
This is gonna be high score.
You think so? For both teams, I don't see the Panthers defense or Panthers offense scoring that much. I don't know. It could be a blowout. We'll
30 to 25.
Vikings Bears interdivision matchup. The Vikings are set at 3.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Vikings. I'm taking them to cover. I'm taking the over. The line is set at 39.5. Give me the over. If you're picking Jefferson on a 2+, this is the game to fucking do it. Even
just like 3 weeks in a row and he's never done it.
Dude, I know I said that last week, but fuck, the Bears are so ridiculously bad. It's I don't know, man. I said it last week. I was wrong. Division. The Bears?
Yeah.
The Bears aren't first in the division. What you talking about, Willis? They are last.
3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, they were second in the division.
Yeah, they downhilled though. So
made them downhill.
Yeah, if this is a high scoring one for me, I would think so. If you like your Vikings players, TJ's yet to catch a ball too, or catch a ball in the end zone since he's been back. hopefully we can see that one happen against the Bears as well. But give me the Vikings. Give me the over. Give me them the cover. I assume you're taking Vikings as well?
Yeah, give me the Bears.
Oh,
no,
Bears.
Bears.
Bears, okay.
They can't lose like 5 in a row. That's not happening.
It's tough. They've got tough schedule ahead. Texans, Titans. Texans are 7.5 point favorites. I'm taking the Texans, but I am not taking them to cover the spread. This is going to be a lot closer than people think. Texans don't have their weapons. CJ Stroud has not played as good as people hoped.
Yes, they do.
I think
the Texans to win and cover.
I think the Titans defense is
Joe Mixon's.
The Titans defense is a lot better than people expect them to be, considering the week they just had. So,
give me the Texans to win and cover.
I'm taking the Texans to win, Titans to cover. Lions Colts. The line of this game is set so ridiculously high. This is a over 50.5 line for this game.
That makes sense.
Considering the Lions, I'm going to take them.
What's the spread?
They are 7.5 point favorites. I'm going to take them to win and cover.
I think Colts cover.
But Lions win. The money line on this game is plus 295 for the Colts. I'm going to take the Lions. They're going to win. They're going to cover, but I'm slapping the under on that. I don't think the Lions are going to be able to put up 52 points consistently every week.
All they need to do is put up 30. The Colts will put up 20.
Yeah, that's true, but still, I don't see the Colts scoring more than 14. So,
nah. Don't know. Like the over-unders. I stay away from it.
The Patriots-Dolphins.
By the way.
Patriots-Dolphins. I'm going to take the Patriots. I think, like you said, the Patriots seem to sneak out a win this is the trap game, by the way. This is my trap game for this week. I think the Patriots are able to sneak out a game. You said it every year against at least one or two of their division rivals. I think this is the game they do it. They are 7-point underdogs. I think they win and they cover. I seriously think that the
Dolphins.
They win and cover this game. The line is set at 46. I'm going to take
an under I can take.
I'm going to take the under on 46 as well. But regardless, I think the Patriots get it done in this game. Buccaneers, Giants, the line is set at 41.5 for this game. The Buccaneers are 5-point favorites. Tommy DeVito has already been named the starter for the Giants in this game. Give me the Bucs. Give me them the cover. Give me the under on that as well. Yeah, the Giants are bad. I don't think
they're over.
The 41.5. 41.5 is the line for the under over.
Give me the over. The Bucs 5 on their own, and then maybe the Giants can score 10.
The Commanders, Cowboys. The Commanders are 10-point favorites. Give me the Commanders. Give me them the cover. Give me the over on this game too. I think it's going to be such a demolition fest for the Commanders in this game. I think they put up 30, 38, 39 points on their own. So the line at 45, I think the Cowboys can get a touchdown, and I think the Commanders put up like 39, 40 points on their own. So give me the Commanders.
Give me the Commanders to win.
I'm picking up the cover.
Cowboys cover if Trey Lance plays.
Trey Lance is not playing. Cooper Rush is set to play.
We don't know that for sure.
Brethren, I'm pretty sure they are.
Something can happen tonight. What if something happens tonight? Not saying I'm going to be in the building or anything, but what if a sniper rifle just shoots at Cooper Rush's Achilles for some reason?
Okay, chill out.
What if a blow dart just enters Cooper Rush's ginger skull by random chance?
Moving on, the Broncos Raiders.
What if Tua's ghost just pushes Cooper Rush over into a pile of hot lava?
Oh my god, that's crazy.
What if Bryce Young's car driver decides to take out another ginger fuck?
Yeah, what about Zach Wilson's Zach Wilson's mom's best friend?
Oh my god.
What about the masseuse that wants revenge on Deshaun Watson? But
yeah, she got her revenge.
I bet she did. Speaking of white guys throwing the ball, the Broncos, Raiders, Bo Nix and the Raiders. Bo Nix and the Broncos are 5.5-point favorites. Give me the Broncos to win. Give me the Broncos to cover the spread, and give me them on the over. The over is 41 points set on this game. Give me the over. The Broncos do another demolition fest, and they get it done in Las Vegas.
Bet on this?
Sorry? I might actually bet on this game, like, myself, honestly. That is a very good line to set for the Broncos.
Spread!
5.5! Oh my god. 5.5.
If Ritter plays, give me the Raiders.
To win and cover?
If they win, they'll cover. I say cover either way.
Niners, Packers. My Packers are favorites in this game, which is something I like to see. I would not bet on this game if I was anybody. This game is so wishy-washy. I would stay away from this game for anything, any picks, players, whatever. This game is so slightly it's so up in the air, to be honest.
I'm picking Christian McCaffrey to score 2 touchdowns and have like 150 yards.
Give me my Packers. Give me them to win and cover.
I hope you guys win because it helps us. But
yeah, I do too.
Give the 49ers to win and cover.
What's the spread? I don't even need 1.5. What's 1.5?
Holy shit. Well, yeah, give me the 49ers to win then.
The line is set at 48.5. I'm staying away from that. If I'm picking one or the other, I'm picking the
other. What do they have for the Packers? Crazy.
48.5.
I thought I'd see that.
But Seahawks.
Over you get hit.
Seahawks, Cardinals. The Cardinals are 1-point favorites. -1, +1.
Yeah, give me Seahawks to win, and obviously cover.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals, and I'm going to take Marvin Harrison to cook up Riq Woolen.
But the problem is he's not going to be on Riq Woolen. He's going to want Devon Witherspoon.
Well, let's praise.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe a big game incoming from fucking Trey McBride. We'll see.
Woolen's fine. McBride isn't going to do shit. I'm sorry.
No hate. Nothing. No hate against the Seahawks.
They're literally hating. And you're going to see. We play at the same time, so you're going to be like, damn, how did the Seahawks hold this fucking team to 17 points when they have 35 on your head at halftime?
Well, I'm not picking that because I'm picking the under on 47.5 as the line, so I'm picking the under on that.
Crazy.
Eagles, Rams. The Eagles are 3-point favorites. Give me the Rams, man, at home. They are rolling. They are spreading the ball. Stafford's getting touchdowns thrown. Fuck.
Still win and cover.
I'm picking the Rams to win and cover. Line is 50 points? Holy shit. I might take the over on that. Low key. 50 points.
But you like to win low games.
Fuck it. The Rams over, win, cover, all of it. That's a good game, though. That is a good game. Ravens Chargers on Monday night.
Game.
Ravens are favorites by 3 points. They're going to win. They're going to cover.
Give me the Ravens to win, but I think Chargers cover.
And I'm gonna have the Ravens winning by, let's say 7 by a touchdown.
And the spread is 3? 3 even?
3 even.
those fucking lines, dude. Okay.
And the line is set at 50.
The Chargers to cover.
50.
Chargers the Ravens win.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on the 50-point line as well. That's
no. Take the under on this, dude.
Yeah.
I'd stay away from the over under on this.
Yeah,
I'd stay away. I'd stay away.
Few players that we could see for pop-out games. Anybody that comes to mind here with these matchups?
Okay, well, I'm betting CMC over on total scrimmage yards.
We talked about that. I like Tyreek against the Patriots. That looks like a good. But then Gonzalez has had good matchups this year and has done well with them. So
give me CMC for anytime touchdown. Give me.
I talked about JSN against the Cardinals. I really like JSN against the Cardinals. I think that's a good line for him, a good matchup. Or DK one. It's a toss up, but
yeah, they both might score.
I like them both.
Lockett seems to destroy the Cardinals, so
Lockett.
Lockett might reappear and go crazy. Give me.
I'm staying away from the Rams personally. Like, I know they both.
I'm staying away from that game.
Their wide receivers had good games this week, but they play the Eagles, who shut down the Commanders' receivers. So we talked about that a little bit.
Give me a Swift anytime touchdown.
DeAndre Swift against the Vikings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, but I don't know. The Vikings look good against the run.
Give me a Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, I was gonna pick Chuba.
Anytime.
Chuba against the Chiefs. Chuba against the Chiefs.
Over yards.
Or over on yardage. Okay. I don't have the lines obviously because it's a Monday, so I don't have any.
Right, so way early, but
I only have the lines
also,
for the Steelers Browns game. But
give me Russ over passing touchdowns.
Dude, okay, sneaky pick here. I think Baker Mayfield on an anytime is a pick against the Giants. He tends to rush for at least.
My gosh.
I'm saying
no, but here's the thing. I don't think he's going to need to.
Oh, you think?
The Giants' D line is pretty all right.
That's fair. Jalen Hurts is a fucking lock for rushing touchdown at least every game.
You could bet that, but the odds are probably so shit on that now. It's not worth it. So this is the parlay. Russ over on passing touchdowns, CMC total scrimmage and anytime touchdown.
Wait, hold on. The Russ. Let me get you that over line for the Russ. 1 second, because I can grab that for you since the. Oh wait, nope, don't have it.
Probably not. Okay, so yeah, Russ over on passing touchdowns, CMC over on total scrimmage and anytime touchdown, Swift anytime touchdown, Chuba anytime, and over on yards.
That's solid. I like that. That's solid. Chuba, I like Chuba, man. Chuba's such a good player. Fuck. He's so good.
Goated.
You want to move on to the tier list?
Oh, Chuba. Let's do a running back tier list. Yeah.
Alrighty, so we are on our tier list section, running backs. It's Lucas's screen, so I have no control over what's going on here. But you want to start it off?
Yeah, I'll start it off. Fuck.
Why is your screen doing that? There's so many players. Whatever, just start with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
This year?
This year, I'd say...
Great. I think great's fair. He's, a lot of people had questions going into this year considering injuries. Can't stay healthy. But, yeah, man, he's looking really, really good for the Vikings.
He's fallen off recently, but, I mean, he has 100 yards receiving, rushing, sorry. So, yeah, has 100 yards receiving. So, yeah, I'd say, right? We can agree with that?
Alvin Kamara. This year, are we going based off this year's performance, or are we going off?
Yeah.
This year, I guess elite is. He's fallen off though too recent weeks. Brother, he was putting up 100-yard weeks to start the year. I think elite's fair though, just because of the way he started the year. I think I can justify elite.
He's realistically top 3 right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Bijan is elite. Oh, great. I don't know.
I think he's high great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he's rough.
I think that's fair.
And like he's really bad weeks. He's had some great weeks, but he's similar to Aaron Jones, I'd say, this year so far.
Yeah, Blake Corum's a rookie.
Okay, Blake Corum, rookie, hasn't really played.
Look, hot take.
Breece Hall.
Hot take, Breece Hall. I think Breece Hall's in good. I don't think he's great. I can't say he's been as good as Bijan or Aaron Jones. He had a good week last week, but he hasn't been very consistent.
The thing is, he has 1,000 yards already, so I feel like we have to put him at great.
He's low grade, though. He's low grade.
He's low grade, but he's been like 1,000 yards scrimmages crazy. Right? We can agree with that?
Yeah, I think he's just overrated this year, to be honest.
Really? I think he's underrated. Brian Robinson.
Dude, Brian Robinson? I think Brian Robinson's in great, to be honest. He's been so good this year.
Really?
I think he's been so good.
He's missed time, though, too. Like, you also have to think about that.
Yeah, he's been so underrated, though.
Like, I'd say good.
He's definitely high good, though.
Because he's missed too much time, yes. He's missed too much time. Like, he's missed 3 weeks. And, he hasn't had 100 yards since, like, the Cardinals and the Giants. So, like, 2 really bad teams,
Yeah.
I'd say good. McCaffrey, injured.
Yeah.
We'll put him injured.
Injured, for sure.
He's been injured. He's played 2 games. If we were to rank him on those 2 games, he'd be a solid backup. So,
DeAndre Swift.
Interesting. What do you think?
I think he needs a solid backup, to be honest. Like, he's had weeks where he's been great, and then he's had weeks where he's been like mid, like he only has.
I think he's been great.
I think we can put him in good. But he's, in my opinion, he's in between that needs a solid backup and good tier.
Solid. He's good. He's David Montgomery.
He's in great or possibly elite, but definitely great.
Yeah, Derrick Henry elite.
A-Chain.
So this is interesting
because A-Chain's missed time too. Or sorry, no, he. My bad. A-Chain has not missed time, but
I think he miss a week.
No.
Oh no, just like kind of banged up at the beginning.
Mostert's missed time, but when Mostert's back, A-Chain doesn't get as much of a workload. So, I think.
I mean, he hasn't had 100 yards rushing, but I'd still say.
I'd say he's good. I think Brian Robinson's had a better year than A-Chain, so I can justify putting him in a good.
Zeke's been hot ass this year.
Yes, Zeke has been hot ass. Gus Edwards is
a
solid backup.
Solid backup.
Yeah, solid backup. Pacheco's injured. I would say Jahmyr Gibbs is elite this year. One of them's got to go
because he's
elite.
Basically been the same. But the thing is, Jahmyr Gibbs without David Montgomery. You can't have David Montgomery without Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would say if David Montgomery wasn't on the Lions and they had Jahmyr Gibbs would be an elite. Or vice versa, to be honest. I think they're
fair. That could be fair, but you could say that about Montgomery too. But together, I'd say they're great. Together, they're elite, but individually,
they're each great. Yeah.
James
James Connors needs a solid backup this year, low key. He's missed time though too. He hasn't missed time. Low key, he has more rushing yards than Aaron Jones.
Higher.
He actually has more rushing yards. He's good. I think
he's good.
He's good. I think he's good. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind on that one.
I'd say good.
Yeah,
he's high good in my opinion.
Yeah. Now James Cook.
This is interesting because you said a hot take earlier, but I don't know.
James Cook, low key.
What do you think?
If you're looking at solely what a running back does, he'd probably be in good. But because James Cook has,
I agree with that.
He has like 8 receiving touchdowns on the year. Like,
he has 1.
He does not have 1. He had 2 in one game. He had that 4 touchdown game where he had 2.
You're thinking rushing touchdowns.
He has
rushing touchdowns.
I think James Cook's been great this year. To be honest, he has been very, very, very good for the Bills.
Okay,
but I would say he's lower end great, but he's in great this year.
Yeah, he only has 1 receiving touchdown. He has 10 rushing. Helps. Javonte,
fuck man, this year. If you needs a solid backup. Like he's getting carried this year, to be honest.
So you think he needs a solid backup and wouldn't be a solid backup?
I think because him and Jaleel are doing good this year. Like they're one of them.
We'll put him needs a solid backup right now. We'll
get to
Jaleel.
Else is in there. We'll get to Jaleel because if he needs a solid backup and has a solid backup, then I don't know. I guess that's fair if he needs one and then has one, right? Jaylen Warren is the solid backup.
He's been kind of ass. Like he's been.
You think he's been hot
ass? He is a solid backup, but yeah, I mean, kinda. I mean, no. When he's just been hurt and like hasn't had as many opportunities. I feel like so we can put him solid backup, I guess. Now Mixon has been ass.
Joe Mixon has been elite. Yeah, hot take. Like I don't even know if that's hot take anymore. But he's missed time. Not a hot take. He's missed time, and he's still has as much receiving yards as Aaron Jones. Rushing yards. Rushing yards. He would already be at 1,000 if he didn't miss any time. So I think that's fair.
And Jonathan Taylor, another guy that's missed time.
I'd
say he's still great.
Yeah, he's definitely great. He could definitely be an elite, but he's got to stay healthy.
This time, yeah. Jonathan Brooks, we haven't seen him play, and he's been injured, so he's like the injured rookie.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs. So this is interesting. He's your guy.
He's my guy. So, Josh Jacobs
used to be with the Raiders, but
definitely could be elite, but he's in great for sure. I wouldn't say he's on the levels of Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon.
I mean, I would.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to. I'm not complaining.
I mean, no, we got great. I think so.
He's definitely front of great.
Let's see what you.
Honestly, for me, Kenneth Walker's missed time. But when he's healthy, I would say he's in great too.
I think good. Here, really? It's rough sledding for our.
I can agree. And just if he
running
was
game
on
hasn't really been great.
If he was on here, he's not on here. I'm gonna say if Charbonnet was on here, he'd be in solid backup because he is a solid backup. But
I think if Charbonnet had a thing to himself, like if he was on the Bengals, he'd be a amazing fucking running back.
Yeah,
but that's just me. I might be biased.
Kyron's great. Kyron's in great.
I don't think he's higher.
I don't think he's elite. He's got very similar.
Come on.
He's got very similar stats to Bijan.
I guess, yeah. I guess that's fair.
So
I guess that's fair.
He did carry that team for a while, but
now that this is interesting.
Look, Najee's good, but he's definitely could be great.
You think he needs a solid backup?
No, Najee's in good, man. He's so underrated.
Good, I agree.
He's so underrated.
I personally think he's great this year. This year, I think he's great, but there's too many people in great. So
yeah, I think
we have to put him. We have to put him with James Cook because he's been better than James Cook.
Yeah, Najee's so underrated every year, man.
Yeah. Well, last year he struggled a little bit, but
that's fair. Nick Chubb is in injuries.
Oh, he's been hot ass.
Oh yeah, you can put that too, but
Nick Chubb's like actual stats, he's been hot ass, and he's played enough games. I think now he's played 4 games where he's just been hot ass. So yeah, he's hot ass.
Rachaad White. If we were looking at Rachaad White, the receiver, he might be in good, but he's in needs a solid backup.
No. He's great.
Brethren, no, he is not in great. Not this year. Hell no. He could be in good.
Yeah, okay, I can agree with you.
He has not been He has not been a running back this year. He's pretty much just been a wide receiver. So,
but that's still part of it. He's just a receiver back. You could say the same thing about Bijan. You could say the same thing about Aaron Jones. You could say the same thing about Alvin Kamara. You could say the same thing
but
about
they
Brees
actually run the ball. They don't have another guy that runs the ball for them. So
the ball.
He's pretty much just Austin Eckler. So he's a young Austin Eckler right now. So
Bucky Irving. Where would we put Bucky Irving? Good too? Probably, right?
Yeah, probably. Raheem Mostert. You could put him in injuries, to be honest. He's missed a lot of time.
Yeah, but he's the same as Ezekiel Elliott too, right? Like he's hot ass. I
would say solid back.
3 rushes for -2 yards.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Fuck. Yeah, he's been hot ass this year.
Ramondre is interesting.
Ramondre isn't good. I can't see. He's not better than Brian Robinson this year. No way. I would say he's in good. He's been way better than, or Brian Robinson's been way better than.
I think we know where fucking Saquon Barkley is. Elite.
Saquon's elite. Tony Pollard's interesting because he's the only bright spot on that fucking team. He's almost top 10 in rushing. I would say he's in great. Possibly good.
With James Conner.
Yeah, he can go behind James Conner. That's fair.
We can say great, though. We can say great because of the team he's on. Like, he's on a shitty team. Everyone in good is on a good team, but is just having, besides Ramondre, but is just having, like, some struggles.
Yeah.
Right? Tony Pollard is on a shit team and is actually doing good, which makes him great.
Travis Etienne's in injuries.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you could put a bit of hot ass too.
Rookie.
Zach Moss is hot ass. Kareem Hunt.
Okay, this is interesting now.
I can't justify putting him in elite because he didn't play the whole year.
Okay.
But he's in great.
I can agree. I'd say great. Yeah, I'd say great. Great or good, but I'd say great. He's been, when they need him, he's been amazing. Jordan Mason is interesting.
Jordan Mason was great, possibly elite to start the year, and he fell off a fucking cliff.
So here's the thing, right? He is a solid backup.
Yeah.
But if he was starting, I still think he would be
in good.
A solid backup or good. So I would say if he was starting, he need a solid backup.
Yeah. That's fair. Chase Brown to start the year was in like solid backup or needs a solid backup, but he has blown up.
Never had the opportunity. Now I think he's
in good.
Good, honestly.
I can't put him in great though.
McLaughlin.
He's still the solid backup.
He's in the second year.
He is the solid backup though for now. Or he could be in needs of solid backup, and Javonte could be the solid backup. I don't know.
I mean, it's like kind of just like whoever, whatever, whenever, wherever.
Hot take. I think Eckler isn't solid backup.
Eckler needs a solid backup.
Or yeah, that too. But the thing is, he is the backup now. He's too old to be the starter and have a solid backup.
But he's good. He's still good. Like, you look at the games he started, he looked good. He looked like a starter. Because of his age, he would still need a solid backup to kind of take that load off.
Yeah.
But he's been good. Like, he's,
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't been, prime Eckler, but, I mean, he's been good enough, I think.
Yeah.
And in the receiving game, he's just been fucking amazing.
Just put Madison in hot ass, please. It's bothering me that he's still on the fucking board. Just put him in hot ass for me. Put him.
He's elite.
Put him in hot ass. What are you doing? Come on,
Dowdle,
buddy. Okay, I just want to throw this Alexander Madison statistic at you. Did you know? Fucking Jaden Daniels has like 150, almost 200 more yards than him. And he's the starter on a team?
To be completely fair.
The four guys behind him are quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Caleb Williams,
Madison,
Bo Nix. Like, he's hot ass, bro. Fucking get that motherfucker out of here. He's in hot ass.
Backup, I feel like.
Rico's in solid backup.
All backup. And then
Chuba's great.
Let's be honest. He's elite. Come on. Chuba's been elite. He's on the fucking Panthers and basically leading the fucking league in rush.
Yeah. But I can't say he's better than Josh Jacobs though this year.
Why not though? Why not?
Less yardage, less attempts on a bad team.
Okay, you're helping my argument here.
I would say if he's an elite, then Jacobs has got to be an elite too. Jacobs has got to be an elite too.
Yeah, he has what, 20 less yards on less attempts on the team he's on.
Move Jacob up. Just move Jacobs up. He's elite.
But Jacob's
team is
I don't know.
Games. I know we're looking at individually. He has,
I don't know. Chuba has 20 less yards on 10 less carries.
I just think
Panthers.
They have such similar stats, so. And we're not looking at team success.
They have similar stats.
But we're not looking at team success.
No,
so.
we can when someone's running behind the worst O-line in the fucking league and is amazing.
Jerome Ford's in solid backup. He's a solid backup.
Hot ass, dude, but
yeah, he's a hot ass if he was a starter. Backup. I still, I don't know. I still like. I think
these are the top 5 running backs in the league.
Yeah, Jacobs is definitely top of great though. There's no one that even kind of compares.
Bijan, you could argue that Bijan is top 5.
I would say Jacobs, then Bijan, then Jahmyr Gibbs, and then Jonathan Taylor. Like, low-key, like, Breece Hall is not fucking that good. Like...
1,000 scrimmage yards.
Yeah, but...
I'm pretty sure he has the most scrimmage yards out of fucking everyone.
Yeah, he's more of a receiving back, low-key, though.
What are we going to say? Like, Kamara's not fucking elite because he just receives the ball more?
Yeah, I know.
Or involved in offense? Like, you can't put that on him.
I know. It's just the Jets are so fucking bad, man. He was so overrated to start the year, though. Let's be real. Like, him and Bijan were kind of overrated to start the year. Everyone was like, they're going to be so much better than they're going to be better than Kamara. They're going to be better than Chuba. Like,
yeah, this is the order, I think, for top 5.
Henry, Barkley. I would put Mixon over Kamara, to be honest. If he didn't miss so much time, he'd be up there with.
Could argue that, but also, like, Look at what he's doing on the Saints. Like, I will say Mixon hasn't played tonight, so he could bump up.
Yeah. We'll see. If he gets like 150 yards tonight, he's fucking third in the league, and it's no.
He missed 3 games, and part of being a great running back is being healthy. So that's why I'm putting fourth.
Yeah, but then you get to,
but then like everyone great.
Yeah, but then you'd have CMC at like fucking elite. So if that was the case, CMC would be second on this list. If we were talking about being a good running back as part of like missing time because of injuries is part of being a good running back, like CMC would be 1 or 2. I would still take Derrick Henry low-key, but
top tier over CMC this year.
Yeah.
2 games. With 4 rookies. Well, Pacheco's in. But you know what I mean? I just feel like part of being a great running back is staying healthy. That's why Derrick Henry is probably a top 10 running back of all time. Maybe top 5 when it's all said and done. Saquon Barkley stayed healthy. Now he's great. Era is playing through injuries, which is fucking crazy. Joe Mixon missed games, so that's obviously going to bump him down. Chuba Hubbard stayed healthy. Josh Jacobs healthy. Like, look at all these healthy running backs. Like, is there anyone else here that has actually been hurt? Mixon, or
James Cook,
Jonathan Taylor.
Game, I think.
Oh, I'm saying hurt, like missed more than 1 game. Like 1 game you can miss for having diarrhea.
The only people in like top 30 rushing yards that missed games are Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson Jr., and Kareem Hunt.
There you go, and it reflects that. Who and what are the yards leaders for that? It's probably Joe Mixon, then Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor's ahead of Joe Mixon,
and then Kareem Hunt.
So it goes Joe Mixon
ahead of Joe Mixon.
Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Brian Robinson Jr., and then Kareem Hunt.
How many games did Jonathan Taylor miss?
Jonathan Taylor missed. Did they have their bye week yet or no?
Yes, I think so. Yes,
they had their bye week. He missed 2. If they didn't have their bye week, he missed 3. Joe Mixon's missed.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
their bye week's week 14, so he missed 3.
Jonathan Taylor's played 8 games. Joe Mixon's played 7. Brian Robinson's played 8.
Taylor,
Hunt's played 7.
Are you sure Jonathan Taylor has more yards?
Yep. Rushing yards. This isn't scrimmage. This is just rushing yards. Jonathan Taylor has more rushing yards. He has 673, and Joe Mixon has 655 as of right now. Obviously, the game hasn't started yet, but
yeah, there you go. I forgot about that as well. And also, one thing you also have to take into account is Joe Mixon got hurt mid-game, so missed half of the game. Jonathan played out the whole game and then was injured later in the week. So it goes Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, then Kareem, then Brian. Which is fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm happy
Kenneth
with
Walker
this.
Has been...
I'm happy with this, Loki. That's good.
Not a lot of arguments.
No. I think it's fair. It's pretty set and done, honestly. Like, a lot of guys are, like, I'm still fucking sit on Josh Jacobs, but other than that, okay. We're not injured rookies. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Like always, we'll be back next Thursday, break down the up-and-coming games. Well, also, I guess we can break down the Texans-Cowboys game when we get there. And, yeah, wide receiver tier list, I guess we'll do next week. Hopefully not getting too many arguments.
So many arguments. That's gonna be that might be a 3-hour episode.
Might be. We're gonna set some time aside for it. Maybe you'll be back in the city to record it in house so we can actually get into a fist fight.
I think that one might be better remotely.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.